Welcome to Second Take, the show that focuses on the issues behind the news. Mining Weekly editor Martin Creamer joins me today to unpack the latest in the mining industry. Welcome, Martin.
Thanks, Ashley.
Tell us about the JSE's reforms highlighted at this year's Junior Indaba.
Yes, I was very happy that they chose the Junior Indaba for the day that they're going to launch their cutting of red tape program, which is going to make it easier to list, quicker to list, and more sustainable to list. So, it'll help you not to have to come off as well. So that's a very, very important thing that they've done for our South African economy, to get the people who are leaving the stock exchange, Johannesburg Stock Exchange, to look again and see that it's going to be a different stock exchange with two boards of directors, one for the main board. And this is particularly directed towards the smaller companies, which is also very important because we know we need that exploration going. But even bigger is their giving official status to private capital raising. Now that is what we didn't expect here, because when you list, you go public, but they're giving official recognition to you raising private capital, and they are in that process with you, and they have got authorized recognition from the FSB, what we used to call it, has changed its name now. So it's official. If you're raising private equity or you're raising private debt, they will assist you to get this. That's a massive breakthrough, and I think that a lot of the private equity companies are going to look at this, hopefully also be flexible, because if people come in and say, let's do it slightly differently, we saw what happened on the London AIM. They became very flexible, and a lot of the people are coming through that London AIM now. But when you looked at the Junior Indaba, at the figures, and they come through with how many exploration companies, juniors, are listed on the Toronto Stock Exchange, 1,600. How many of those sort of small cap companies are listed in Sydney? 600 companies. How many of these small cap companies are listed in Johannesburg? 12. So, we're a mining jurisdiction, but we are painting up this demand for our exploration that if I think they open up correctly, it will be a no-brainer. It will add to our economy substantially. And if it comes through structurally like that, and hopefully Treasury also decides finally to allow this flow-through scheme to happen, I think it'll be excellent for the South African economy.
Minerals Council South Africa's CEO says you can't hope to attract venture capital funded juniors to invest if you don't understand their business.
Exactly. This venture capital funded junior era was begun by people that are not South Africans, the Canadians, the Australians. They know about it. Chileans know about it. We have had a different culture here. We have had big ore bodies. We haven't worried about the exploration side. We've said to the engineers, put a shaft there, and let's get going. But we're now entering this period where we have to understand what exploration investment is all about. So he's saying, if we want to attract this, we've got to know about this venture capital investment from juniors, and then design ourselves so that we're competitive. Because as Roger Baxter of Minerals Council South Africa is saying, you have to be competitive. It's not as if you're the only place in the world. You can have fantastic endowment, but they'll go somewhere else because they can't understand what you're doing. And this is a long-term business. It's a risky business. As he was saying, to just find those deposits is something else. So you've got to realize the high risk of this, and that our majors do all our exploration here, the bulk of it. But they're just doing brownfields exploration. They already know what's there. They just go and confirm. And that's not what you're needing at the moment. So hopefully, the powers that be will understand that they've got to have a tremendous understanding, and they've got to be competitive, others are wasting their time.
Lastly, Martin, tell us about Sedibelo Platinum Mines' role in the country's green hydrogen efforts.
This is incredible. With Sedibelo, they are determined to be totally green. Now, the Bakatla community have got a big slice of that. The Industrial Development Corporation has got an interest in that. And then it's Pallinghurst Group under Arnie Fransen, determined to really be completely green, no compromises, as he's doing it in Canada for the electric vehicle and materials that will go in there. In Sedibelo, for what will go into fuel cells, he's doing the same thing. And his argument is that, what's the point of you have clean air in London and dirty air in his mine down in the northwest. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. It's hypocrisy. So he wants to be renewable based. He's brought in this CAL process, which cuts your electricity need by 80%. So therefore, you only need to bring in the renewables for 20%. And you can do what everybody else is doing in a different form, in an advanced form, no smelters. So you don't have that sulfur going into the air, everything. So he's saying, and then also, in for a penny, in for a pound, you're going to have excess renewable energy because he's getting wind and sun energy, wheeled in, and then he's going to have his own set of solar power there as well. You've got excess, turn it into green hydrogen. Get everything on the mobility side going with green hydrogen. Become totally green or as clean as you can. And I think that others are going to have to follow because it's hypocrisy, to have something that's dirtying our air and then cleaning the air of all the rest of the world. So it's an interesting thrust. And the way he works is the model that he's got for Canada is exactly the same as the model he's got for here. There, he's got close relationships and collaboration with their IDC equivalent, which means he's close to the government of Quebec. Then here, he's got IDC involvement, which brings him close to the government of South Africa. At the same time, he's in with the First Nation community in Canada, and he's in with Bakatla here. So the model is the same, and he's going to go uncompromisingly as green and clean as he can.
Thanks for speaking with us, Martin.
It's a great pleasure, Sashni.
That's it for today. Join us again next week for more news analysis on the local and global mining industries. And don't forget to listen to the audio version of our Mining Weekly daily email newsletter.